All right, everybody. So we on our next interview. We got our next father here. This is a special edition. So who am I here with?
You here with Dale Coleman?
All right, Dale Coleman. This is my uncle. This is my uncle, everybody. So y'all gonna affectionately hear me call him Unc. So Unc, how many kids you got?
Four.
Four kids. Boy, girl. What you
Two
got?
boys, two girls.
2 boys, 2 girls. Wow, you got that balance. Okay, okay. So you got 2 boys, 2 girls. I know you've seen it kind of generationally, right? But what do you think when it comes to fatherhood? What's the biggest thing you've learned being a father? What's the biggest thing you're like, the thing maybe you didn't know before you became a father, but what's the biggest thing you learned?
Being there.
Being there.
You know, being there. Being in the kid's life. You know,
the presence.
Being the presence. Being, and you learn that, kids are a lot smarter than you think they are.
Talk about it.
Yeah. And they believe.
Mm-hmm.
They believe what you say.
Right.
So
Right.
I took it to heart of not promising anything that I couldn't do.
Couldn't deliver. Couldn't deliver on. Right.
Couldn't deliver on.
Right.
And just being there. You guide them. You try to. Kids gonna go their own way.
Absolutely.
But you guide them. You show them the right way. And,
right.
And
let the
you
chips
gotta,
fall
yeah,
in
yeah,
let
because you gotta let them bump their head.
Absolutely.
We all bump our heads.
Right.
We all bump our heads.
So it'd be their turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, man. I love that, man. Do you think when it comes to fatherhood, have you had an opportunity or a time where you had to like apologize to your kids for anything, or if there was something that maybe you didn't get quite right, and you made sure that they recognized that, being open with your kids. Have you ever had to do that with your kids? Or maybe not even say an apology, but it even could have been where it was like, let me get this right because I might have got this wrong.
Well, as you would know, I grew up without my father being
right
there,
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
So I made it a purpose because I know how I felt.
Right.
So I made it a purpose of. No, I might not have been 100%, but that was my rules at that time. So
right.
You live by them.
You live by rules, yeah.
And not apologize. Like I said, I didn't promise nothing I couldn't deliver. Or I would say, if I said I was going to do it, then I
try my best
to do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
And you do the kids that way, then they and like I said, kids are smart, so right. they understand.
They understand what's going on.
You have to talk to kids. Right. Just like this day and time, I think the parents talk to the kids too much.
Right.
I mean,
right.
well, they let them know too much.
I get you. They're not protecting them in
right,
the way that
right.
they should.
They let them know
like
too much. You
right.
know, like these young kids now, they know. Technology is a thing too.
Yeah.
But then the parents is like, well, we don't have no food in the house, so you made a way. You don't worry about. You don't let them worry about that.
Yeah.
See, that's a whole different.
It's a whole different mindset. The kids need to be the kids, and the parents need to be the parents. And sometimes we blur them lines. We blend them lines.
The parents want to be friends.
Talk about it.
They want to be. They want to be the kid's friend. Yeah. I love you.
Right.
And I'm being here for you.
That's right. That's
but
right.
We ain't buddies.
We not buddies. I know that's right. I know right.
Yeah, you might be my best.
Yeah.
You might have my whole heart.
Right.
But yeah, I'm the parent.
You the parent.
So
you're absolutely right on about that, because if you don't draw the line, then they're not gonna know where the line at.
Exactly.
When they get older and older and older and that kind of thing. So now I love that, because it makes me think about what we want them to know. So what did you want all of your kids to know? Because I know now they're all over 18, but before they turned 18, what was the thing that you wanted to make sure they knew? Like the thing that, maybe it could be something for the sons, something for the daughters, or maybe it could be something for all the kids. But what was that one thing you wanted them to know before they turned 18?
I guess the main thing was, I figured if you teach a kid to survive, everything else will fall in place.
Survival, so that kind of that common sense, sense of surviving in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Just and what I mean by survive is, know how to live without. People, a lot of these kids now, I think they'll lose their mind if they had to live without.
Yep. Yeah.
It's all about, living without.
Living without, yeah.
You can live without,
right,
and you can manage until you do better. And the survival is, holding on until you can do better.
And you talking about, that's what I hear you talking about, is that sacrifice. You got to be able to sacrifice for the things that you want.
Exactly.
Because if you...
Times get hard.
Yeah.
You can live without cable.
Right. Right. But some feel like that's the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, and it is, the generation is changing.
Too.
It's a mindset, but the generation is changing because half of these kids don't even look at TV no more.
Right, that's true. They be online all the time or something like that.
Right, but what would you do without that phone? What would you do without that tablet?
Right.
Can you manage until you can get that back on, or until you,
Absolutely.
So that's...
And what I hear you saying, that's really, it's your mindset. Like, what kind of mind do you have to be able to survive? Like, I know you're talking about something that is, very specific to, the kids nowadays. Give me an example for you, like growing up, that you kind of had that was like, okay, when it comes to surviving, because, things like that. When you talk about surviving and doing without.
You had to know, okay, I'll throw this out for an example.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up here in Virginia.
Yep.
Okay. And in the summer times, Dad lived out in California.
Right.
So I would we would go to California. When I first went out there, Dad would take us shopping when we out there and stuff like that. And, we'd go to a store and we'd buy a baseball cap.
Right.
That was $25.
Right.
And for here in Virginia, you got a pair of shoes, a shirt, pair of jeans
for that whole
$25.
Right.
So it teaches you to. You got to have the mindset. You can go with it,
right? Or
you can say, I don't really need that, because that ain't gonna do me no purpose where I'm at.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's not gonna. It's not gonna serve me a purpose.
Right.
To have $100 pair of shoes on.
It's just,
when my jeans got holes in the knees.
And it's showing
this
the
is the style now,
right.
But the style now is the holes in the knees and stuff like that. So it's different.
Styles go back around.
It goes back around. But I'm just saying, at that time, you just didn't. You was just saying. When I said survival mode, it's you got to know what situation you in at that moment
in time,
and to be able to deal with it, high or low.
Right.
Because high can be just as bad as low.
That's true. That's true. So you got to know how to navigate. And And what I also hear you talking about is that value. Like, what value do you put on money? One, that's a lesson in money.
Exactly.
and then the value of your needs versus your wants, because you were talking about that. That makes perfect sense. I think it took me a long time to learn that one, man. It took me a long time to learn that one. Yeah.
You know, and that's why you talk to the kids and you let them you explain to them and show them that it's the difference between the needs and the wants.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole lot of stuff we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of stuff that we don't need to have because it's putting us at that red line.
Right, that survival mode you was talking about where you don't need to be.
Yeah.
That's true.
When you can cut this off.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when the pandemic. I mean, well, when the market fell.
Yes.
Back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Oh, it's 08, 07, 08.
Yeah. 07, 08. Yep. You know, I came in, I cut off everything. We didn't watch regular TV.
I know
we
that's
didn't need this. We didn't need that.
All those different things.
You limited stuff that you didn't need.
Right.
That it was a want, but right at this moment, we don't need it.
I love that. I love it, man. I love it.
it's in survival mode.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
time gonna teach you.
Yeah.
Time gonna teach you too. Like the times that come, they're gonna teach you. That's what I hear you talking about, because it's one of those things where you never really think about it until you got to go through it.
Exactly.
So that's what I hear you teach. That's the lesson that you.
And a lot of that's the problem with a lot of the kids today. I mean, you know, you be wondering, could they
actually survive?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I laugh. I tell my wife all the time. I said, the baby girl. I said, I don't worry about her.
She good to go.
I said, if anybody can survive, she can survive.
Right,
you know?
right.
I said, now the rest of them might be a little soft, but she can survive. You know? And it's just you know, it's just and it's a mindset.
Yep.
You know, but you know, things might be a little bit harder for this one than it is for that one.
Right. Everybody has their own life.
Yeah, everybody has their own. Yeah, and the way they do things.
True.
You know.
True.
But I said, if it came down to survival,
she gonna be good.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome, man. Because I think you hit on something, and that's something I wanted to ask you. How do you know, from a fatherhood perspective, you know, mothers have, you know, their way of seeing the kids and things like that. But from a father perspective, when you're talking about like different personalities with kids and stuff, and then how you handle, you know, because every kid ain't the same, right? So everybody have their different things. But when it comes to a non-negotiable, like that one thing that you're like, in this household, we ain't doing this. I lay down the law here. This ain't something. What's that one thing where you're like, we're not doing that? This is the thing. It could be multiple things, because, you know, we always have our rules and stuff. But what's that thing, that one thing that's a non-negotiable? You ain't budging on that thing. You know, just that thing that you're thinking about, and you like, no, we're not doing that. Not in this household. It could be anything. It could be a principle. You know, anything. Yeah.
I guess in our household, it was just, you know, mutual respect, and we the parents.
That's it.
I mean, you know,
simple as that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you wanna, you know, like I laugh, you know, as you know, because you my nephew.
Absolutely.
I got a big old house.
Yep.
And people always ask me, say, where your kids at? And I said, they all gone.
Right, they all out the house.
And they said, why? And I said, because I got rules in my house. All I'm welcome.
Right.
They can come home anytime they want to.
Right.
But I got rules.
You got rules.
And I'm still grown.
No matter how grown you get,
how old they get, I'm still the biggest.
Yeah.
And you know, and I said they all over the world, but they all know, all of them know I love them.
Right.
All of them know they can come home if they have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And I tell them all.
Still a rule when you get back.
It is. And I'm not paying rent nowhere else.
I know that's right.
So if you can't afford your rent, then you can come home.
Right.
But I ain't paying. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just.
But that you showing the, I love that, because you know, a lot of people don't even see that, because you showing the balance too. It's the respect factor, but it's also the love factor. Like, you can come home.
Yeah,
you come home, but
welcome.
you know, but
Anytime.
the rule is this. You know what I mean? So it's, and that's what I hear you saying. It's that balance of, yo, this is exactly what, you know, who I am as your father, but this is also what, you know, I'm willing to give, but I'm also willing, you know, not to tolerate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they know.
That's
And
good.
they know.
Yeah, they
so
know, yeah.
and they, you know, so all of them.
Come when they come, go
Yeah,
when they go.
yeah, they know.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
but
good,
they, you know, so they know.
Right.
They know.
That's
they know.
good. That's good.
They know they're welcome anytime. You know, grandkids love them to death.
Oh yeah, the grandkids.
You know,
yeah,
and my wife, she would have them all
day
the
long,
time.
all the time,
all the time.
So that's,
you know?
and that's the difference, right? That's why, and that's, you know, that's the goal, right? Because it's a matter of making sure we talk to the fathers, because a lot of times, you know, the women will talk all day long. You know, they'll talk, they'll give us everything they need under the sun. But a lot of times we don't talk about these things as far as where we stand and how all of that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the you know, matter of fact, I share this little one with you. Mm-hmm. We was at the store the other day, me and my wife, and this young man pulled up,
right,
and he got out the car fussing.
Okay.
And he was saying, I'm trying to take care of my kids, and yeah. He used the word, well, I would change the word.
Right.
He said, well, my kids' mama, she just want to drive me crazy. You know,
right.
And don't want me to see them, or don't want me to spend time with me, but she want my money.
She want my money. Yeah.
And I laughed, and I said, you know, and I laughed, and I told him, I said, well, the kids don't stay small forever.
Right.
I said, you know, the little fussing and the bickering, and you know,
that y'all
and that's
going back and forth. Yeah.
You know, you. I said, kids don't stay small forever.
Right.
You do your part.
Right.
And they gonna know.
They gonna see it. They gonna see it.
And that's just as simple as that. And that's what I always tried to, you know, tried to do. Yeah. You know, if I do my part,
right.
You know,
everything else
will fall in place. Your kids will understand. They'll respect you more.
Yeah.
And you go from there.
Man, you absolutely right on, man. So, last question for you. If you had one last sentence or one last phrase you wanted to leave with your kids, what would that thing be? What would that thing be you want them to know about you or know from you? It could be anything.
Enjoy life. Life is short. Enjoy life. Life is short.
Enjoy life. Life is short.
You know.
Yeah. Because it's simple.
No matter, just as simple as that. Yeah. I mean, enjoy life. Life is short.
Right.
You know, people. Life is too short not to be happy. Or say it like that.
Yeah.
Use that word.
Yeah.
Life is too short not to be happy.
Not to be happy. Yeah.
Because you can, you know,
stress yourself to death.
Oh,
yeah.
You worry about stuff that don't mean, you know, that don't mean nothing. Don't. It ain't gonna help you or hurt you.
Right.
You know, and you just worrying about stuff that you don't have no control over anyway. Why? Why worry about stuff you don't have control over? You can't control.
That's
you know,
it.
That's just like you sitting right here.
Right.
You know, I'm a worry. Oh, Chap is doing such and such, and that boy ain't gonna be good, or this and that.
Right.
But you gonna do what you want to do anyway.
So why worry about it? That's it.
I can't change it. I
That's it.
can't stop you.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
You got to hold on to that.
Yeah, you just, you know, it bothers you a little bit.
Of
but,
course.
you know, you just, you know, especially, like I said, especially with your kids and when things are going on and happening.
Absolutely.
But I learned that they're going to learn them little bumps and humps they own.
Right.
So,
the hard way.
The hard way.
You hopefully to tell them the easy way, but
you
like
try,
you said,
but, you know.
it's those lessons,
all you can do is say, hey, you know, be happy because life is short.
Sure.
You know, so that means do things you want to do. Don't live your life for somebody else. You know,
that's the caveat right there.
Don't live your life for somebody else.
That's
you
right.
know, if you and that person is going that way, and working towards and living and both of y'all enjoying and having a good time,
that's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
I love that.
But if you living your life for somebody else,
right,
and they happy and you miserable,
yeah, you going down the wrong road.
You gotta refocus.
Yeah.
You gotta refocus on
you
some
gotta
stuff.
Find something else to do.
Yeah, you gotta refocus on some stuff. So
okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, Unc. I appreciate that, man.
Problem.
Yes, sir.
Anytime.
Yes, sir. Listen, y'all. This is that next interview, and we're gonna keep them coming with all of our fathers. All right. Y'all be easy.
And a lot of